Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Daily Racing Form YouTube. I'm Gino Buccola alongside Mike Beer, producers Bobby and Vinny helping us out today as we get you ready for the Grade 1 Clement L. Hirsch. Let's head on out to Del Mar and take a look at the field for this one. It's going to go as race number 10 on Saturday, August the 1st. Mike, you have the top three from one of the local prep races for this in the Santa Margarita. They ran 1, 2, 3, but it was only a field of four, and one of the three was basically eased. So it does seem like this race would be ripe for a new face, maybe a horse like Chasten or Majestic Oops, who kind of ships in and hasn't been running locally, because it wasn't really the most impressive local prep with those three horses of Almond Joy, Simply Joking, and Seismic Beauty.
No doubt that the shippers add a little something to this race. We'll see how they stack up here. I guess really, Gino, at least in my opinion, maybe you agree with this, maybe you don't. This race is kind of all about what you think about the 8 Seismic Beauty and whether you feel like she's going to get back on track here. She's run 2 and maybe 3 races already that might just make her too good for these horses. But her last 2 races are very, very questionable. Does she get back on track here or not?
Yeah, her A game just trounces this field if she showed up with that best performance. But right now, we don't know if she still has that best performance in her after the 2 lackluster efforts that we've seen from her recently. So it just comes down to like, how short of a price do you want to take on her if you're willing, to accept that bounce back performance from her here? Let's meet the field for the Clement L. Hirsch. This one is going to go as race number 10, $400,000 up for grabs, and a Grade 1 on Saturday at Del Mar. Chasten is in nice form right now. She's a multiple stakes winner. She finished, she was a winner of the Obeah last time out over at Delaware, and I believe we have a replay of that one. 2 starts back, she was in the La Troy N. That race was probably a little tough for her. I mean, you look at the top horses from that race, Shred the Gnar, Fully Subscribed, Bless the Broken. Any of them in here would be a pretty live contender. So I think that just looking at her recent form, 3 of her last 4 races have been victories. She's not proven against graded stakes company. Normally that would bother me, but in a field like this, not quite. I mean, she fits pretty well with this group based on speed figures, and that was a nice win from her last time out.
I'll admit I took a long look at her in this race for sure. I was a fan of hers from the start, Gene. I really felt like she had, she's obviously got the huge pedigree for good connections. And after her debut, I just felt like there's a chance that she's actually pretty good. We'll see how much she can develop. I'm not sure how good I actually think she's got. I don't know, man. I wanted to like her way more than I do in this race. That race that we just watched there, she looked good winning that race. But that was kind of a match race between her and Amalfi Drive. Everybody else in that field, they're just not stakes horses. And she was just way better than her main rival last time. I don't think that's the case here. I don't know, man. I'm a fan of hers. I wanted to like her more than I wound up liking her in here. We'll see how she does.
Because she just looks good on paper, right? She does. She doesn't have a lot of like blemishes, but she's never been competitive with groups like this.
Right.
Like the times that she's faced a little bit tougher, she hasn't really been close. Even when she faced Simply Joking earlier in career, she was well behind Simply Joking. So I don't want to take too short of a price on her at all. And I feel like it's going to be shorter than what I would want to take just because you look, she's got some decent speed figures. She's won 3 of her last 4. And some of these others are a little muddied up. We have Hey Jesse, who's the next one up. Not sure she's really quite at this level either. Her lone dirt race came against Calbreds back in 2024. She is a deep closer, and she's going to need to run a career best race in just her second race on the dirt. So she did win that only dirt race, but based on speed figures, it was a lot less than what she'll be facing. What do we do with this deep closer? Hey, Jesse.
Yeah, I don't know. I like her as a horse. I don't know if I like her in this spot. I guess, listen, as far as the only dirt start goes, and it was a win, it wasn't a fast race, but she was, still a 2-year-old at that point. She's obviously a way better horse now than she was then. So can she run, transfer the improved form over to dirt? I don't know. Her running style, I think, is problematic too. I mean, she's been running in long turf races, and now she's going to come on dirt where they're going to go way faster in front of her. I can just see her getting totally outrun in this race. We'll see. Maybe she gets Simply Joking. Maybe she gets the 2 favorites. They're Simply Joking and the Baffert or Seismic Beauty to duel again like they did last time and set this thing up for her. But she's going to need some help.
And that's what happened when Almond Joy won the Santa Margarita. I believe we have a replay of this. It was a 4-horse field, but really only 3 of them were in the mix at all late as the other one was eased. And so we see Almond Joy right here with Simply Joking and Seismic Beauty. And Almond Joy just got a perfect trip in a small field where the 2 horses were battling, and the only other horse in the field was Almond Joy. She took advantage of that. And I don't want to knock her because overall, she's a solid filly. Aggie Ordonez has done an incredible job with her. She's a really cool cowbred who's now a grade 2 winner, multiple graded stakes winner. But just the way that race set up, there were 2 horses dueling. She was the only other horse. And so she definitely took advantage of that.
Yep.
In this field, it's going to be tougher. She's just going to face a couple other horses who could take advantage of that same type of trip. Horses like Chasten or Majestic Oops, they might just be better than her, and they might also get the same sort of trip that she got in that race. So that would be my concern with taking too short of a price on her in here. But she's a really cool horse, and I don't want it to seem like I'm knocking her at all because I really do root for her, and I love what Aggie's done with this horse.
I agree. Yeah, listen. There's it's not slandering Almond Joy at all to say that she took advantage last time. You can just go back and watch the race and see it. The 2 favorites dueled in front of her. She got the right trip and she came and she ran them down. She's been a good horse for a long time. And listen, she was a good price last time. I don't know. Maybe you're going to get around the same price in this weekend. I really don't know how they're going to bet this race, but I don't think she's going to be a short price in here.
No.
And she's a good horse. She shows up and she basically runs just about every single time. So I can see her running well again in here. But if I was betting the race, I'd probably bet somebody else.
Bankshot has run 3 straight top 3 finishes in graded stakes races, but hasn't really been threatening in the last couple. Hasn't really, and those figures, even while hitting the board in graded stakes races, they wouldn't really be competitive with this group. Those are against 3-year-old. Those had been against 3-year-olds until the Summertime Oaks last time out. So this is kind of like a step up in class for her. When she's having to face older. She's just been facing 3-year-olds, and you can just see on speed figures she'll have to get a little faster. Can you build a case for her here?
I mean, I couldn't. It's a real problem, for the 3-year-old fillies out west too. There's just no stakes program for the 3-year-old fillies through the summer out west. I mean, there's the Summertime Oaks they have, and there's really nothing else for them to run in. So if they want to stay home and they want to run in stakes races, they have to step up and face the older fillies and mares. And I just don't think it's going to work out that well for her.
Majestic Oops is a grade 2 winner. Once was a 12-5 claimer, now a millionaire. 4 straight top 3 finishes, all against stakes, 3 against graded stakes. I mean, her last few races, she beats Nitrogen in one of them, and then Nitrogen comes back and wins the Ogden Phipps with 113 buyer. Claret Beret won back-to-back graded stakes races with a 98 and a 105 buyer. Rest in peace to that horse who passed away recently after a morning workout. I mean, even horses like Immersive, grade 2 Fleur de Lis winner next time out. Splendora won the grade 2 Molly Pictor next out with the 100 buyer. I'm just looking at the races she's coming out of and comparing them. They just seem so much better than the races that a lot of these other horses are coming out of. And if the trip is similar to last time, where Simply Joking and Seismic Beauty and maybe even one other horse in here go to the lead, I think she's the one that just gets the great setup.
I agree. She's just so tactical. You can just envision her getting the right trip in this race, and her form, especially over the last year or so, going back to last summer, it's just excellent. It gives her a real chance in here. Listen, man, I don't think I've ever watched Majestic Oops, especially that she's gotten good, and thought, oh yeah, she's a grade 1 horse. She's going to win a grade 1 at some point. But you know what? If she's going to win one, it's going to be one like this. She fits really, really well in here, and there's supposed to be a good trip coming.
Yeah, it's a great spot for her to come in and try to get that grade 1 victory. Grade 3 winner, Simply Joking, is drawn to her outside. She was in the Santa Margarita. She won the battle of the early speeds with Seismic Beauty, but both of them were no match for Almond Joy late in that small field. And in this spot, Simply Joking will have to deal with Seismic Beauty, Eunomia early, maybe even a couple others like Bankshot or 1,000 Miles, who I wouldn't be shocked seeing them more forward in races like this. So I respect her. I think she's in nice form right now. And she had like 3 races in a row where she had some trouble, and I was trying to bet her back off of those races. And she finally put it all together in the Santa Maria 2 starts back. Only thing is, it's just small fields and you haven't really been able to bet her at prices like that. Maybe you can in a spot like this, but I have a hard time projecting the trip she's going to get in here to win.
Yeah, it does seem pretty clear, like especially when they go along with it, that she just wants to be involved on the pace. And we'll see. I don't know. Do you feel like there's any kind of a chance that Seismic Beauty this time is going to try to change up her running style? I don't know, man. I mean, are one of these 2 horses going to blink this time and not go and let the other horse sort of take the lead after they dueled each other into defeat last time? I didn't really see it happening. I like Simply Joking as a horse quite a bit. I guess I'm probably wrong about this, Gino, but I've always preferred her in shorter races rather than
sprinting like
races,
7.
So we're going to keep going along with her. Yeah, that's how I looked at her. She's a really good horse. I don't know. Maybe she'll get a different trip this time and wire this field, but I'm not going to bet the race that way.
Yeah, because it's hard. You have to envision that. You have to
Yeah.
predict that. And when we look at what we saw last time out, it just seems like both of them want to go. 1,000 miles is a multiple stakes winner. Grade 3 placed on the turf is going to stretch out in here after sprinting on the dirt in the Great Lady M. The last few, it's been about 6 in a row where she hasn't hit the board now. And you can just see they're trying different things, sprinting on the dirt, long on the turf, long on the dirt to see what works for her. And not a whole lot has been working as of late.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, this is one of those races where I feel like I wanted to sort of poke holes in all the favorites and try to get to maybe a horse at a little bit of a better price, but this horse is really, really hard to get to.
Seismic Beauty, grade 1 winner, last year's winner of this race. She was your favorite in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, and she was pretty much eased in that race. And then most recently, it was just a field of 4 in the Santa Margarita. She was making her first start since the Breeders' Cup, and she got dueled into submission by Simply Joking, and she didn't really battle on at all. Like, it's one thing to get tired if both Seismic Beauty and Simply Joking got a little tired and Almond Joy ran by them late. I mean, at the top of the lane, she was all in. She
Yeah.
was really done. Like, that was not even close to like a C performance from Seismic Beauty. So that's just really what you have to kind of figure out in here, which Seismic Beauty is going to show up. As we said, if she was in here with probably a B plus or an A minus effort,
Yeah.
that wins this race. But if she shows us one of the races that in the last two where if she's punched and she doesn't punch back, I don't want to take a short price on her.
I agree. Yeah, and it is one of the things, yeah, where she is going to be a short price again. It feels like even though she's been bad in her last two races, I just see her being the favorite again in this race. So it's your call whether you feel like she's going to bounce back in here because we've already discussed that if she bounces back, she probably wins. I wonder if being drawn to the outside of Simply
Yeah.
Joking this time makes a difference because now they won't. Last time they did have to go. Simply Joking pressed her from the outside first, and then they had to let her
Mhm.
clear and get to the outside and come back after her. This time it does feel like Hernandez can just sort of set up on the outside of that horse, maybe. And listen, maybe the trip works out. She gets back on track here and she wins. But this isn't the kind of short price favorite I'd be terrified to bet against.
Yeah, not at all. Maybe the slight cutback helps for both
Yeah,
her and Simply Joking as well. Rounding things out with Eunomia, multiple graded stakes place, almost won the grade 2 double dog dare back in April. Slight stumble at the start most recently in the Ruffian, was fifth, made a move up to second, was all in at the top of the lane before kind of just being pulled up. Not sure if the race sets up for her with the other speeds. Like, I look at her a lot of times, and if she's one of the lone speeds, that's maybe where you want to upgrade her. Drawn to the outside in here. What do we do with Eunomia?
yeah. I just don't like her that much. I'm with you too. I don't see the trip really working out for her in here. At least the trip that she wants to get. I don't know. Her races just don't do a lot for me. I felt like she was, even though she looks decent on paper, I thought she was kind of overmatched here.
Let's take a look at selections for this one as we round out the field for the Clement L. Hirsch. Mike, I think we both went in the same direction here with Majestic Oops, who's just a really cool horse. And I'm looking at the fields that she had been facing, and they just seem like much, much better. I think it's a great spot for her to try to get the grade 1 win.
Ultimately, that's where I landed too. I just feel like it's a good spot for her. I think she is going to get the right trip in here. I'm not way against Seismic Beauty in this race. I know her last two races are problematic. I'm not way against her. I think she's the horse to beat. But if I'm going to bet the race, I'll take one small shot with the 5.
They talk about an angle called the toss two quite often, and you can absolutely do that with Seismic Beauty, right? You could toss the Breeders' Cup race. That was right before a long layoff. Then she
Yeah,
came back off a long layoff, didn't have the easiest of trip, had to be the speed used down on the inside. It's just a little, we don't usually see it with the Baffert horses,
that's right.
right? Like, that's the thing, is they're usually just ready to fire almost every time they're out on the track. So it's rare to see them just kind of like back up and kind of be tired and not seem fit. But we'll see if Seismic Beauty takes that next step forward here. For Mike, 5812. For me, 5168. We'd always love to hear from you. So drop a comment in the comment section below. Are you going to give Seismic Beauty a chance to bounce back, or are you going to go in a different direction? Best of luck.